What's up everyone, and welcome to ROBEYTECH, where I, Justin Robey, aka Robey One Kenobi, talk tech with you absolutely fantastic people. Now we're going to get you up to speed on everything, and I do mean everything going on in the PC and hardware gaming world, or just really what's contained in this very short episode. Now, in today's episode, we talk about new GPUs, the future of Ryzen, and Star Wars mods. So get ready, because this is ROBEYTECH. HIS, or HIS, is a third-party graphics card manufacturer for AMD that you probably haven't heard of until right now. They've been at the game for quite a few years and are making waves thanks to their outlandish design choices for the 5700XT. Now, based on the IceQ X2 design, the only real difference is the way these look. With the name Army, you can probably guess that these are camo-themed GPUs, but not just any camo, pink and blue camo. I know that right now Eternal Rage and Zov are besides themselves knowing that we can do a pink and blue camo build. Now, each card comes in a standard and overclocked version, though the standard version still has juice turned up just a bit from the original 5700XT. So there is that. Using a 2.5 slot design with 2 fans, back plates, and a healthy boost in clock speed, these might be a perfect GPU for your pink or blue case. But don't blame us if you lose your graphics card inside your case. Get it? Because it's camo. You know, blue and pink camo, but it's still camo. You won't be able to see it. As someone who recently finished a monochromatic white-black themed build, let me tell you how difficult it's been to find white GPUs for this generations of graphics cards. And what I mean is the RTX generation. Until now, the only white 2080 Ti was made and sold only in the UK by a company called Galax. And so we never got anything like that over here in the United States. Now, any builds that wanted to sport an RTX card with a white theme could only get a 2080 from Gigabyte, which is the card we used in our white themed build. Now, Asus has descended upon us mere mortals with the gift of a white 2080 Ti, with the addition of the Asus ROG STRIX White Gaming Overclocked 2080 Ti. Woohoo! Party time! Now, while this doesn't have a white PCB, the Galax card still takes the cake in that department. I think plenty of PC builders, yours truly included, can't wait to get their hands on one of these slick, clean, pristine white PC builds. But does it have the go to match the show? Well, of course it does, you silly goose. This is an Asus ROG STRIX card we're talking about. The OC turns up the clock speed to 14.6% from base to 1770 MHz, so you can push all 11 gigaderps of GDDR6 to the max in your favorite ray tracing game. Now, price for the card is steep, though, at €1,600 or a whopping $1,773.12. It's not exactly a bargain GPU, but then again, what 2080 Ti is. But that is still seriously going to hurt the pocketbook. I can feel the sting already because I need like 10 of them. With the next generation of Threadrippers requiring a significant amount of cooling, like buckets of cooling, EK has announced their Velocity water blocks to cool those #beefy cores. Now, since the pen layout is the only real change to the socket for the newer generation, EK didn't want to have to reinvent the wheel for the Velocity blocks. Now, each block comes with a copper baseplate made from only the purest copper from the finest dwarven mines. Okay, so I made up that whole dwarven mine part, but it's a great metal that has been electroplated with nickel. The block itself is covered in tiny microfins and covers all the real estate of the Threadripper 3, which is not a very small CPU. Now, one of the biggest differences between EK Velocity's water blocks and the competitors is their decision to polish the base plate, which they say transfers heat better. Now, the top of the block comes in 3 different options: acetal, acrylic glass, or nickel-plated brass. Now, price ranges from 130 to 150-ish, but that's for the RGB version. That's right. If you want the performance but don't want all of the RGB lighting and bling, you can opt for a block without RGB. But let's be real here. Everyone knows that a Threadripper runs faster with RGB. That is just a fact. we just recently got the last of the 3rd gen Ryzen series releases as well. Threadripper, Ryzen 3, so why not take a look at some rumors about what's actually coming next. And guess what? There is a next. Now the internet has dubbed it the X670 because it's one more than the X570, so of course that makes sense. And it looks like the next chipset is going back out of house for production. Now currently AMD makes the X570 chipset themselves, but previous generations have been made by AS Media, and it looks like AMD is returning to the manufacturer to start building the chipset for the X670 series that we think AMD will announce at CES next year. Along with rumors of the next-gen chipsets, AS Media may also be taking a look at budget B-series motherboards for 3rd-gen Ryzen. The B450 was a great alternative to the $200 plus Ryzen boards, and AS Media could be bringing 3rd-gen Ryzen features to the budget market. Adding a PCIe Gen 4 support to budget boards would make it really difficult to justify anything other than an AMD machine on any budget build. But what of the future? Well, the biggest drawback by a country mile for X570 boards has been the heat, and these boards get hot, like hot. So we're hoping that the next generation AMD chipsets get their thermals a little lower and allow board manufacturers to move away from integrated fans in boards to cool the chipsets and hopefully make them just a tad bit cheaper. Because, not gonna lie, they're pretty pricey. Now I'm also not gonna lie that having a small fan built into a board has been a concern on everyone's mind since replacing the fan, if it goes out, is not really plausible for your average PC gamer. Heck, I don't even know if I would do that. It's not saying that we're not gonna have a YouTube video on it here very soon. I'm just kidding, we're not. Because I really don't want to do that. That means if a fan for your chipset goes out, you need a new board, which takes time and money. So let's all cross our fingers and little toesies for a fanless X670 board. So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is great, but you've beaten the game. And now you have a BD1 size hole just waiting in your heart. Well, guess what? You're in luck, if you play on PC that is, because a modder named Jordy_C has released the new Game Plus mode game save that allows you to start in Bogano with a BD-1 and all customization options, saber parts, and 220 skill points so you can play through the game looking like the big boss NAS Jedi you always knew you were. Think of all those poncho combinations. Now the save is meant to serve as a new Game Plus mode according to the creator, and they also recommend skipping the stim crates since that might end up making the game feel a bit too trivial with that many stims thanks to your skill trees. But in order to avoid breaking your immersion, you still have to play through the main story points to get Cal's abilities like slow, push, pull, double jump, and so on. For all of you Final Fantasy VII fans out there, Square Enix has confirmed that they will show a trailer for the Final Fantasy VII HD remake on the Square Enix Jump Fiesta 2020 website at the end of the month. The images on the website also show just how far the game has come since its initial tease back in the day, with much better lighting and of course character models. Now you can get lost in Cloud's dreamy green, glowing Mako-infused eyes. How awesome is that? Oh Cloud, you're so dreamy. Now, we've also got some insight into how the combat and progression will work in the remake. Two very important features since the ATB and Materia system were iconic and beloved features of the original game. It looks like we're getting a hybrid combat style with an RPG-style base commands with action combat elements sprinkled in with combos and special attacks. For progression, you'll spend SP to unlock potential of the core materia inside of a weapon, increasing attack power, magic power, HP, and a number of materia slots. Now, one of the cool things about this system, though, is that each weapon has a special ability to unlock, and once you have them, you can use them even if you equip a different weapon. And lastly, and this is what has me so excited, we finally have the information on the Chocobo summon. The Choco Mog summon from the original game was kind of funny and cute, but not really a summon you would use that often, because essentially it kind of sucked. Now Choco Mogs gets a base ability called Mog Bomb, and an ultimate ability called Stampede where a flock of Chocobos run down and trample your enemies, like they would. Now let us know what you think of the HD remake, which is reality probably more of a 4K remake, but that just doesn't sound as good as Final Fantasy VII HD versus Final Fantasy VII 4K. Yeah, Square Enix, good job on that one. Well, that's it for ROBEYTECH today. Let us know what you thought about the news today in the comments below. Are you gonna try out the Game Plus mode for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Are you sad because you have an Xbox or a PS4 and you can't do it because PC rules? How dope does that white Asus ROG Strix 2088 Ti look? I hope super dope, and I hope you have $1,700 to send me a free one. You just go ahead and send that right over. I'll put my address in the comments. Maybe not, because then I'll get a bunch of hate mail. I gotta rethink that strategy. Are you excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake? As a producer, Josh is. And we're excited for you, Josh. I'm also excited for Final Fantasy VII. Way to exclude me there. Now let us know in the comments below. Now while you're down there, be sure to slap that subscribe button, whip that like button, and ring that notification bell so you can get a notification each and every time we post a new video. And sorry, over the Thanksgiving holiday, I know we skipped one. Please forgive us. Also, head on over to mixer.com/Robey1Kenobi and give us a follow over there for our live show every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific. Also be sure to drop us a follow over on Twitter and also at Instagram at Robey1Kenobi. Now thanks so much. I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say thank you so much for watching, but apparently that's not what I was going to say. I was just going to say thanks so much. Anyway, guys, see you later. #BeefyCores.